Not the same.
Start.
This was
Okay.
Rodriguez's, and then this
It's
was
recording.
Evans.
Or do you want me to pause it?
Just
Okay.
scrap that one.
This is Burnside.
I just submitted 3 different ones. Aren't
I'll fix the numbers later.
I can't.
You're trying too hard. It's not a complicated computer.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna go for it. Whenever you're ready, just hit start.
Ready.
Is it already started?
Yes.
Okay, well, I can just cut this
You can-
past minute or
Okay,
two.
Right.
question.
Oh,
How?
no, no.
Sorry.
Cutting that minute too. God damn it, Haley. Okay. Please state your name, job title, and tell us a little about what you do at Branch Academy.
Okay. My name is Asanta Burnside. I am a science teacher. I am certified to teach all science. I have a composite science certification. And I also handle the student council and the tobacco-free program, drug-free HTB.
How did you find out about your job?
I actually had not applied to CCISD yet. I was on a field trip with my former student council kids in Arlington and received a call from Donna Adams, who is in charge of certified personnel for CCISD. She called me and said, "Hey, we saw your resume online and we think you would qualify for some positions that we have available here. If you're interested, please apply." So I was like, sweet.
What made you want to apply for the job?
I knew that I wanted to leave my current job that I was at. I had been there for 9 years, and my kids had both already graduated, so it was time for me to move on, and I missed the beach. I was living out in the desert. So I had come to Corpus Christi, I guess, probably about 5 years ago. There was the State Science Teachers Conference was here in Corpus. So I had attended the conference here, and I really liked it. I thought it was beautiful down here. And so when the opportunity opened up for me to come, I took it.
Can you tell us a little bit about how the interviewing process was?
Well, for me, since I was in the El Paso area, which is like 11 hours away, I was able to do my interview through Skype. So that was really cool that I didn't actually have to come down to do my interview. And when they told me that I would be interviewing for Branch, she did let me know that it would be all the teachers would be present, and so pretty much the whole staff would be present for the interview. And so I was like, okay, that's not a problem. And I guess I don't know what I thought when she said that. So sure enough, in the Skype interview, everybody really was here. So they were here in this room around the table. They were all here in this room around the table, and they had a list of questions, and so but we did the interview through Skype.
This is your first year here?
This is my second year.
Okay, so since you're have you noticed an evolution in your 2 years?
I would say yes, because my first year was the first year there were freshman students. And so this is the second year that there's a group of freshman students. And I do have to say that this year's freshman students are, I would say, more advanced than previous year freshman students. And you can definitely see a difference in the growth of those 2 groups of students. So I think that's a good thing. And the groups are more cohesive and they're growing. So like right now, the sophomore classes, they're the largest class that we have here at Branch, and with the freshman class following a close second.
Have you ever worked at a school like this before? And if you did you like it?
Okay. I did not work at an early college high school. I did work at a small school, and I loved it. And so when I found out that Branch was a small school, I was like, yes, score. So I was thrilled to still be in that small school atmosphere and not have to worry with the hassles of a large school, because it is different working at a large school. I have tons of friends who have done it, and they hate their jobs, and I didn't want to be in that position to hate my job. So I love my job. I love what I do, and I'm glad that I am here instead of at a big school.
Okay, so your years working here, how has it been for you?
For me personally, it's been good, except for the fact that the district somehow forgot that our science program existed, and and we had to do a whole year of biology without having biology materials. And but we made it happen. We made it through the year. We used other resources. We did finally start to get some things towards the end of the year. But other than that, my time here has been fine. I said I haven't had any issues.
So, what changes would you like to see at the school?
I would like
If
to see. What changes would I like to see? I would definitely like to have a complete lab. That would be excellent. Actually, I think our school building itself, it needs to be expanded. Since we are growing, there's not enough space for the kids that we're planning on having in the future. And so, once we have those four grade levels where they're all completely full with 75 to 80 kids, that's a lot of people, and not enough rooms to accommodate those people. So, and I don't know what the district's plans are to grow our school, facilities wise, but that needs to happen. Definitely sooner than later.
Do you think that the classrooms themselves need to be expanded, or we just need more staff and more classrooms?
I think we need more staff and more classrooms.
Do you see Branch as a family? You mentioned you like working at smaller schools. Do you think there's more of a closeness between the students since it's so small?
Yes, absolutely. In larger schools, so many of the type of students that we have here at Branch would totally get bullied and picked on and just pushed to the side. But here, we can embrace everybody, and you can feel at home with whatever difference you might have. And like here, we do have a high population of gay and lesbian students, but they feel comfortable here, and they don't get picked on here because of what their choice is. And we as teachers accept them for who they are, and that's a great thing. And so that makes the high school experience for them much better, because they're not worried about, oh, is somebody going to mess with me today? They can actually focus on their schoolwork and not have that hanging over their head. And then, but yes, I do feel like the students here are, for the most part, a pretty close knit group.
Well, you aren't an original teacher, but you've been working here for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed like a difference in the deadlines? Have deadlines gotten stricter? Are they more laid back?
I would say probably stricter. Yeah, I think I would say they're more strict, or at least for this last 6 weeks. Yes, because all of us teachers have seen how, at least with the high school classes, that the kids, they don't take the deadline serious. So instituting zero late work, or late work with a huge penalty, has really been beneficial. So, and so I think people are starting to realize, oh, we got to get this in, so that deadlines are important. That's the reason you have a deadline.
in your years of working here, do you think students learn by more of a technological approach rather than a traditional pen and paper?
I think so. I At least I know in my class, yes, there's some stuff we still got to do pen and paper. It's science, so you gotta work with your hands. You got to do things. Got to collect data. However, if we did have some of the newer probes and things like that, we could do more science, technologically based, and that would be excellent. But those are super expensive, and as of right now, we don't have the funds for that. But that's something that I would like to get to. Absolutely, I've used probeware and probe based science, and that's it's really fun, and it's fun for you guys as well. You get to play with all this cool equipment, and feel like you're the super scientist. And so But I do think that with your regular classes, or even in my class, I think you guys appreciate more when I have the things on canvas for you and can do the things yourself instead of doing it by pen and paper.
Um, do you think the science department just in CCISD altogether is underfunded? Or do you think it's just that the schools that have a smaller population and don't receive as much funding?
I believe it goes by the size, and unfortunately, I think I think the bigger schools are fine as far as their science departments are concerned, and but the district does award money by size of school. So those of us that are in a small campus, so any of us special interest campuses, we're going to receive the smallest amount of money. So it's unfortunate, but it's the way it is.
Kind of counterproductive, but what can you do?
That's it.
So since we're a small school, are the teachers close within each other? Is there a sort of a bond?
For most of us, we all get along really well together. We do have a couple negative Nancy's in our groups, and so for people like that, you accept them for who they are and drive on. but but for the most part, I think all of us get along very well. We all definitely get along professionally, and even so we may not hang out together outside of work, but we definitely get along together professionally at work, and you have to. You can't let personal feelings interfere with your job. I say your job is to teach students. Period.
Were you welcomed by the original teachers?
Yes, I was welcomed by everybody, the original teachers, the staff, including custodians and cafeteria people. So I that was not an issue for me. I felt very welcomed when I came here to Branch, and I still feel welcomed here. And I'm one of those people I can get along with anybody, and I do.
So, as far as Branch goes, what changes would you like to see for it in the coming years?
Um, Other than growth, and that's facility wise and with teachers, I'd like to see us have, let's see, some more programs for you guys, for students to be involved in.
As in, like,
As in, not necessarily like from the college side, from the high school side. So more high school experience things, and whether that be through clubs or just having certain days a month that we do something that you guys can have a more high school experience. Actually, I think that's important. We don't want you to miss out on stuff like that. So,
Okay. Um, Thoughts on a lottery system being used to pick students rather than picking them by interview?
it does make it more fair because we don't know who we're going to get. So I think it does give an opportunity for any type of student to be a student here at Branch. So and then it makes our Branch family more diverse. Because we have kids here who come from a wealthy background. We have kids who come from the complete opposite, from a lower socioeconomic background, and I think it's good for you guys to mix and see how each other, how you live, how you react to different things, and because when you get into the real world, you're gonna work with all different types of people from all different types of backgrounds, and you need to be able to um, deal with that type of deal with those situations and deal with those people. And so getting exposed to it while you're in high school, I think is a plus for you guys.
so you aren't an original teacher, you weren't here from the beginning,
Hmm.
but I mean, you might know, they might have talked to you about it. What were some of the problems that the first students faced at Branch? If you don't know, what were some of the problems that the kids last year faced.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure about problems that the original kids faced. I know last year, not so much with last year's freshmen, because last year's freshman was the first time, from my understanding, that almost every single one of them, and that was what at that time 80 students, almost all of them had their own devices, which was not true in the previous years. That so having devices for every student was an issue before, and so that was not an issue last year. And then and I know that has this year's freshman class that hasn't really been an issue either. So that has been something that has improved through the process. Just like for this year, between science and math, we are recommending that they get their own calculator, because if you're going to take any kind of science or math at the college level, you need your own calculator. It just makes sense. And and go ahead. I said, and it doesn't have to be a graphing calculator. It can just be a scientific calculator. But you definitely need to invest in having your own, so that way you don't have to borrow and or be put in the position where you don't have any. And because we don't know what the future of the calculators that we have here at Branch, we don't know what we don't know if they're going to come and get those, if we're going to still have them, are we going to be able to afford batteries to get for those calculators? So it's just better for you to have your own. Let's see. Internet is always an issue. Because sometimes there's things that we want to assign to you guys or even do in class, and we can do it on our teacher computer, but you guys can't do it on your devices. And so that is frustrating. So trying to find out beforehand and not the day of it doesn't always get to happen. And so you always have to have a backup plan just in case. And but technology will always be an issue, and it's because it's ever changing.
So you've only been working here for a couple years, but did you like the first year you were working here? Was it a smooth transition between the different schools? And
For me, it was smooth. Besides the fact that we didn't have any biology science equipment. Besides that, yes, it was a easy transition for me to move from the El Paso area to here in Corpus Christi. I came down in the summer and found a place to live, signed whatever paperwork I needed to sign with the district, actually came over to school and got to tour the school and see where I would be. And since they were hiring both science positions and I got here first, I was like, I get the big room. I said, I don't care what I'm teaching, but I'm getting the big room. And so that was nice. And then being in a position where I can use whatever resources I needed to teach my classes was excellent, because that's not always true. And at other schools, you have to follow, this and only this, and you have to use this. And Dr. Rodriguez, she is very good about letting us try different things. And if something doesn't work, try something else. And so she's good about supporting us in that.
So I know some classroom sizes here are small and some are large.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like smaller class sizes as in kids in the classrooms, or do you like bigger class sizes?
For me, I think for science, I think smaller class sizes are better, because then you get more one-on-one and you have more time to be at the lab stations and play with the things. Or so yes, I think that the smaller class size is better. I've been fortunate and not had any classes that were too extremely large. Probably right now that it's like Maymester. This is like my biggest class I've ever had since I've been here at Branch. But this time right now, it's different. It's 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 the end of the year. But during a regular class size, yeah, my class sizes have not been an issue because I know at other schools that is a huge issue for them. I was just at a meeting on Saturday, and that was, an issue that came up that they were saying their class sizes, they have 30 and 35 and 40 kids in the class. I'm like, what? I was like, thank the Lord on where I am, 25 tops. So definitely, but I think you learn better in a smaller environment.
So, you aren't an original teacher here. You haven't been here since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know what branch was supposed to be like whenever it was first started or first dreamed of?
Not exactly. So no, I guess I can't actually speak to that. Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna just throw something out there. So no, I can't speak to that.
As a teacher, are there any accommodations that you would like?
Um, hmm. I can't think of anything. I said I'm one of the few teachers who I'm in a position where I don't have to move my rooms, where any of the other teachers, they may have to move rooms. And because of what I teach, I'm restricted to this end. Whereas, like, English may be down here, or math could be down here, or social studies could be down here, or they could switch over to the other hallway and they may have to transition and move. But I'm pretty fortunate where I don't have to do that. So even though we have desk in here in the resource room that we're supposed to use to work at, it's rare that I work at this desk because all my things are there in the science room, and that's where I have two desks.
As far as technology goes, do you think that the kids are properly accommodated? Is there anything that should be changed?
I think if we go to the district, if we ask for certain sites to be unblocked, I think that should be allowed because like for physics, there are so many cool online simulations that we should be able to use and we can't because they're blocked. And they're simulations that are coming from a university. No university website should ever be blocked it's an educational place. And so that's an issue that I do have that I wish we had permissions to override that and be able to let you guys access those types of things like that. As far as actual devices, I think we're pretty good because here to bring your own device, so you have the option, of getting whatever your family can afford, whether that be a tablet or just a Chromebook, or if you want a big full blown laptop, you can. That's up to you and your family, or it could just be your cell phone if that's all you have. And so you do have the freedom of using whatever device you need or can have. And then if you don't have a device, we do have devices available for you to use.
Branch is usually associated with collegiate whenever it's talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you wish Branch had its own identity?
Yes. We are not the same. Yes, we're both early college high schools. However, we are our own school. We have our own people. Our students are different than collegiate students, and we are not the same. Same with the teachers. Our teachers here, we are a family, and I don't see that with the teachers there. Maybe a few of them, but their teaching staff as a whole, they are not cohesive like we are here. And I think that it's fine for us to do some things together. However, I think we need our own traditions and things here for Branch that we do that are just Branch and not Branch and collegiate.
So, as a whole, and your years teaching at other schools, would you say that you have to change how you teach to be a teacher here or to effectively teach here because of the different kids that you have to cater to?
I haven't had to actually change very much. I mean, you always have to change your teaching to the students that you have. So even if you were at a regular school, you have to do that, or at least I did anyway.
Not all teachers do.
But that is true. Not all teachers do that. But that's me. I said if I feel like I'm not reaching you, then I need to change something so that I can reach you. And I know in the past I had a student who I knew he knew chemistry, but he would never turn in his work, but he would always draw. So for him, I'd had him draw his work. So I said, show me you know what you're talking about in a drawing, and that worked for him. So I found a way to connect with him where he would still turn in his work, but it was just in a different form.
Okay. Do you think our school is promoted enough? Like, do people from regular high schools know about our school?
No. So we need to put ourselves out there more. People in the community, when they ask where do you teach, and I say Branch Academy. Oh, where's that? And so it's gotten better. So in the 2 years that I've been here in Corpus, this second year, more people do know about Branch, but there's still so many people who have no idea who we are, what we do, where we're located. And so we need to put ourselves out there. So we need to get onto social media, be on the news, be in the newspaper. That's spread the word about who we are and what we do.
Would you say there are issues between departments at our school and then issues trying to, I guess, get help from other schools with, well, you're the science department, just in general?
Let's see. Issues between departments. I haven't experienced that because I know like math and science, we work together a lot. And so we talk to each other and say, hey, I'm doing this. Yeah. And I say, hey, I'm doing this in class. When do you teach this? Or when do you, or he'll ask when I teach something. And so we try to coordinate so that if it's something that we are both teaching, that we try to do it at the same time so that you guys are getting exposed to it in both math and in science. So for that, we do coordinate. I do coordinate with the English department as far as writing is concerned, because you should be able to write in whatever subject. And so I try to reinforce that by, having you guys journaling and stuff like that. Social studies, not too much with social studies. I guess when you're doing research, any type of history type thing, I guess that would be cross-curricular as far as with social studies. We do art all the time. We have not done music. I did not do any music type labs this year, and I need to do that, and especially since you guys have your own devices, so we could totally be making videos and things like that, and that are science, but involve music and technologies. So that's definitely something that we could do. As far as from other schools, some schools are helpful and others not. So when the science persons from downtown, put out the word that I was in need of things, some schools try to give us their old broke down stuff. And so I sent it back to them. I said, thanks, but no thanks. But then other schools were super helpful and were able and, would share things with us. Collegiate was not as helpful as I was hoping they would be, considering, we share the same principle, but that's okay. Move on and drive on.
Are there any issues with the in administration? Would you like to see any changes?
Um, I would. It'd be nice for our principal to be present more, but she runs 2 schools, so you know that's that's just the life of running, trying to be in 2 places at once. And so she's here when she can be, and but other than that, Dr. Adams is almost always here, and he and I get along well because we were both. Well, he's still in the military, and I was in the military, so we talk shop sometimes, and so I don't have a problem with him. Um, and then that's really our only administrators. I know sometimes people think Mrs. Payne as an administrator, but she's really not. And but we love Miss Payne. Miss Payne is awesome. I don't know where we would be with a lot of things without her. She's been a huge asset to Branch, and when she does finally retire, which we hope it's not anytime soon, that's going to be a huge loss and big shoes for somebody to fill. Definitely.
So you've only been here a couple of years, but essentially reflecting back, can you talk about how Branch has grown? How when you first how it was when you first got here and how it is now, present day?
Okay. I think when I first got here, let's see, because how many of us started that year? I said myself, Mr. Jordan, Mr. Oliver, Miss V, Miss Simmons. There was 5 of us that all started together last year, and so 3 of us are still here. Two moved on, but we all felt super welcomed when we got here to Branch, and we are, the 5 of us actually are still close, and we still do things together, and but the older teachers that have been here accepted us in, and embraced us and welcomed us, and so I personally don't have any issues with other teachers and staff here. I know there are some teachers that don't get along well with each other, and but they're cordial and professional, and but they just leave it at that. And as far as this year, I think all of us have more responsibilities, so we don't get to socialize with each other as much as we did last year, and but I think that has a lot to do with the roles and things that we are doing or involved in for this year. I know for me, last year was kind of like a jumping board, and but this year, I'm even though I was the science department head last year, we were both new, so we were both learning. Whereas this year, I was able to hire the person that I'm working with, and so I have a lot of say in what's happening in science, and we have a great working relationship. We actually have a good personal relationship, and I'm happy with my choice. I think she does a great job, and I'm glad I chose her out of the available candidates. Some of the other people I don't think would have fit here at Branch, and that's one I think is the good things about when a teacher gets hired here at Branch. We all have a say in that person being hired. Will that person fit in our dynamic? Will they be a part of our family? And that's really cool. And that doesn't happen at other places. Yeah, it doesn't. I said typically you get no say. It's like, oh, here's a new so and so. And we're like, oh, okay, great, thanks. But no, we do have huge input on who we work with, and so that's a good thing.
As a whole, are you happy with where the school is at now versus when you started?
I think things have gotten better since we've gotten some new people this year. Um, Last year, math was really bad. It was bad, and I got to see it because I teach science, and so the math skills were really low last year, and there's a tremendous jump and increase in the math this year compared to last year, and that just has to do with teaching staff, who was teaching, and so we have somebody that definitely feels comfortable in what they teach, and they get that information across to the kids definitely, and it shows, and so I have not had to struggle as much teaching the math part of what I teach because I have someone over here that can do that, and so we can complement each other, and so that's been excellent, excellent, excellent.
Do kids that are taking Delmar classes come to you really often for help with their Delmar classes?
I do actually get quite a few who come and ask for help, and I'm glad that they do, and that I can help them, and I always let everybody know, hey, I'm here. If you need me, you can come and see me. If I don't know, I will find out. If I will point you to somebody who can help you, and that's a cool thing about teaching what I teach is I can be of assistance to you outside of my classes here in high school.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Burnside.
All right.